everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi there. I'm really excited about competing for the speech, so thank you for keeping me accountable and focused on that goal. This is my fourth speech for the Pathways lineup, and it is knowing and learning my leadership style. There'll be 3 sections to this speech. Number 1 will be, what is the DISC profile? Number 2 will be, who are we? Who am I? What is my leadership style? And number 3 will be, with this knowledge, how can we grow and be better community leaders? So to begin, I'd like to unpack and hack the notion of archetypes and these universal patterns that we all fall into. And to do that, we will become better leaders in the process. So number 1, what is the DISC profile? A lot of us here are coaches, have been in leadership positions, so we understand it. The DISC profile was founded in the 1920s by a Dr. William Marston. An interesting thing about him that I didn't know until yesterday is that he actually was the creator of the Wonder Woman comic. So he was big into women's activists and women's rights, and he also founded and developed the first lie detector test. The DISC profile stands for, it's an acronym. D is decisive, I is interactive, S is stable, and C is cautious. To elaborate and unpack those a little bit further, the D is those people that are domineering in a good way, decisive, they can make decisions with limited information. The I are those that are highly sociable, those cheerleaders for our projects, they can bring people together. The S are for those that are empathetic, stable, consistent, and the C are those that are cautious, analytical, details-oriented. I want to ask the group, who here are Ds? Any Ds here if you think you're decisive or... maybe you.
I all the way, 99.9.
What about Is? Okay, excellent. What about someone that's stable, empathetic, consistent? Okay. And lastly, details-oriented. Who has a really clean desk? Awesome. Here we are. So we know a little bit more about who we are. With this knowledge, how can we become better and better community members, more effective at leadership? An interesting area of the DISC profile that I learned is that there are a couple of categories. Number 1 is that we have a natural style in how we interact with people. There's also an adaptive style. So the natural style is how we interact with people, and it is our most authentic self. If we find a position that we can be our natural style, our true authentic self emerges, and we can become our best person in that position. Our adaptive style is how we interact with others and how we adjust our style depending on our environment. What I found about myself that was interesting is that I am a high D with a trailing I, and the D category for me is who I naturally am, but I'm actually lower on the adaptive. And what I found for me is that I'm a real estate agent. I love what I do. I help people to buy and sell homes. But sometimes I don't have all the control that I would like to have over the outcome of a scenario. So I've had to depress or reduce my dominant side to be more empathetic with my clients through the process. Another interesting part is that I'm a high I, naturally, and I'm even higher on the I, adaptively. So what I've done is I've developed a way where I can interact with people even at a more heightened level, and I have to do that because I'm face-to-face with real estate. I also know that I'm better suited for the listing, not presentation, but the listing position, because it allows me to control the process, all the marketing, the messaging, and so I'm more fit for that. And I think over time I should be more of a leadership role, so I can drive that mission forward and just be in a position where I have more control over that. And lastly, to wrap this up, we as community leaders, how can we become more effective and input more influence into our immediate surroundings? How can we as mothers, fathers, partners, husbands, wives, family members be more effective? To do that, we need to dive into who we are as people, learn our style, what motivates us. If we can figure that out, we can help to motivate other people through their challenges, make them better, seek quality feedback from mentors that are a rung higher than we are, really take that feedback and actually do something with it. Does any of that sound familiar to us in Toastmasters? What we do is we unpack a concept, research it, really understand it, present it, gain quality feedback, do it again, and thus the cycle of leadership continues. I'll leave you with this, a quote from Carl Jung, who is a Swiss psychiatrist and an expert in archetypes and also the human unconscious collective. He says, those that look outside of us, or outside, we dream. Those that look within, we awaken.